It's People Station, V-103. It is Black Music Month 2022 here at the Odyssey Studios at the People Station, V-103. Listen, we got a real celebration going on all month long. Today I have the opportunity to sit down with some of my brothers.
Right, for sure.
My homies, my real brothers. This is all brought to you by a family at Peach State Health Plan. And Peach State Health Plan is very special to me because they make sure that they are really in tune with what your family needs are when it comes to health insurance and health needs. So you might want to tap in with the family at Peach State Health Plan.
At Peach State Health Plan, we get you. With our Medicaid coverage, we get you access to a large network of doctors, so you can get the care you need close to home. We get you vision, dental, and mental health coverage, so you can get the whole health benefits you need. We get you dollar rewards for healthy activities and free memberships to family programs, so you can take care of your family's health for less. Get Medicaid you can count on from Peach State Health Plan.
We about to tap in with the Goodie Mob.
What's sure. What's happening?
For some of you guys who've been on the rock, man, this thing started like 27, 28 years ago.
That's about right.
Yeah. Lumberjacks. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about the Lumberjacks, about the beginning of this with the Lumberjacks before the Goodie even came about.
Man, just, you know what I'm saying, just in short words, man, it was a vibe, man. You know what I'm saying? We was just surrounded in the rural area, man. We was just trees, man, and we was just living life, you know what I'm saying, carefree, man. Some of us might be fishing, some of us might be hunting. You know what I'm saying? We just down in the South just taking it easy, man. You know what I'm saying? What you think, T?
Country boy drip.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. We was out here, man, in the field, man, in the SWAT woods. You know what I'm saying? That was the birth of the SWATs. You know what I mean? So anybody know about the SWATs? That's that Cascade Heights community, the Cascades. That's where we from. You know, it's true Atlanta. All these folks talking about this is not Atlanta. This is all Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So,
all ATL.
Everybody believe that. You know what I mean? Born on Peachtree Street. You know what I mean? It can't get more ATL than that. Hey times.
Okay.
Say that. Say
now the birth of Lumberjacks, which was KHUJO and Timo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a.k.a. Goodie Mob.
It evolved into Goodie Mob.
Of course.
Now, how did Gip and CeeLo come into the whole picture?
Man, we knew each other, man. Number one, CeeLo and Timo, they stayed in the same neighborhood. You feel what I'm saying? So they definitely knew each other. And me and Gip was in a group long time ago called with 6 Cents with Ray Murray in it. So
wow,
we was together. But when we came to Mays High School, you feel what I'm saying? That was when it kind of like everybody was on the same level. Everybody was at the same place at the same time. And then, you know what I'm saying, the Dungeon was that big umbrella that we came under, man, to come together to do the music together.
How did Rico and Ray and Pat and Moan and all the homies invite guys like you to be a part of the Dungeon? How'd you guys get introduced to the Dungeon? What was the first introduction?
Man, I would say my first introduction was KHUJO brought us. Me and KHUJO were looking for some beats to try to complete the Lumberjack album. Right. We were like 13. We were like 13 songs in, and we just wanted a different sound. And we just heard that they had just worked on the TLC remix, and they was working with a group called Outkast at the time. We had never met them before. They were much younger than we were at that time. So, man, we went over there, and they were in the studio. I never forget. You got T-Bar standing on the steps. You got Left Eye over there. You got all the Dungeon people that you know. Everybody just kind of sitting in the Dungeon, freestyling. Ray playing beats, and freestyle was just passed around from PA to Goodie Mob, Outkast. Everybody was just, as you know it, Goodie Mob and Outkast. But at that time, we were all individuals, man. And everybody was in there spitting hard, man, spitting their best venom. And it was awesome, man. It was just the energy. It was awesome. And then next thing you know, here come Gip. And then the chatter about Low was coming. You know, everybody knew CeeLo was coming because he could sing and rap. And I had seen him walking through the hood with my homeboy Tyrus McClure with a beat machine. And I was like, oh man, what y'all about to do? He's like, boy, I got something for you to hear. You know what I mean? And then he let me hear this beat that I still hear. I still hear it in my head right now, man. That's like 30 years ago, man.
Wow.
So it's real, man.
Then now, the birth of Goodie Mob. The birth of Goodie Mob, fast forward a few years, Dungeon Family is a huge brand. It's growing. You know, the TLC records, Outkast comes out on the Christmas compilation with LaFace. And then Goodie Mob, Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music.
They don't dance no more. I mean, no, Get Up, Get Out.
Get Up and Get Out and Get Something came out. The song was like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
But it was like, just imagine, if y'all would have been making records like they making records today, it wouldn't be no Goodie Mob.
I'm talking about boy.
That, hey, CeeLo verse would have still been on. It would have still been on the paper. Hey man, y'all. Hey, what about my verse? Hey, Shawty, we ain't got time. Shawty, we ain't gonna.
And when we perform those records to this day, we are
Right.
reminded of just how long them verses is.
Right.
I'm like, Jesus.
Now the birth of Goodie Mob. I moved to Atlanta in 1995, but I had been having conversations with Rico and Ma Benjamin and Mia Red and Ian Burke, because they was like really involved in the management of Outkast in the beginning. And I brought them to Dallas. We did the legendary Bond Factory show, and then coming right behind that was Goodie Mob. We was hearing Get Up, Get Out, Get Up, Get Out, Get Up, Get Out. So everybody want to know, who is these other guys on the record? Who is Goodie Mob? So by the time I moved to Atlanta in 95, and then the Goodie Mob album, the Soul Food is released, when Cell Therapy hit, it was like, it was almost like Camerton Road was just one long street. It was like Camerton Road with 285. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for us as people who like music, I know by you guys being from Atlanta, it probably felt a little different, but from me being from Atlanta, you know, I done watched Cool Ace come down Camerton Road in the parade, in the bathtub. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talking about the SWATs. So when I heard the record, I'm just thinking like, man, Camerton Road is the new 285.
Yeah, because we had the club too, Illusions going on, so it was kind of like a whole vibe.
Plenty of clubs on the strip.
It was going crazy. And then when the album dropped, I mean, just the songs, the album was just so thick, and that really just bring us full circle to Black Music Month, and for you guys to have made this timeless music, and for it to be 2022, and we talking about 1995, 96, and when you go out, you guys might do, Goodie Mob can do 20 shows in Atlanta in a year, and every show gonna be sold out. Yeah. How does that feel? And I know it's like that in some other cities too. How does that feel to be able to create an album? Because you gotta think, y'all got some classic albums, but really, you guys could do a soul food album tour and only perform songs from that album, and the show's gonna be sold out everywhere. How does that feel to be 26, 27 years ago?
Man, I'm gonna answer that by just saying it's deeply gratifying. We are highly appreciative of it. I mean, like, I think if anything we were ever intentional or deliberate about early on, even as youths, was doing the music that we could grow old gracefully with and still perform. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dignified. You know what I'm saying? Like, the integrity is still intact. I mean, it's like really what we were able to accomplish. It really classifies itself as an institution. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people were enlightened and informed and evolved by, you know, and over the top to a graduation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, people said that we've sustained them through school and all of the different personal and professional ordeals and plights. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to use all of that verbiage just to give it the poetic justice it deserves.
It deserves.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been a real blessing to people, and people come and they rally around that music and they lift it up where it belongs.
I mean, the music is crazy. Still Standing, Soul Food, Guess Who, Black Ice, Thought Process. Man, it's just so many records.
Oh, that's still standing.
It's so many records.
That's organized noise, man. I mean, when we talking about Black music, man, I mean, I had a time, a privilege of going with them to go look for records for my first time ever doing it. And when I say they went through this guy house, man, getting the records that they needed, man, to bring that vibe, man, it just took me to a whole level, man. It ain't just about making some beats. They were trying to make something that's gonna stand the test of time, man. So you definitely right about that, man. That Soul Food, you can just tour off that whole one album, because Organized Noise was our peers, you feel what I'm saying? So they let us get whatever we had on our chest off, man, until they started formulating the songs. Well, okay, we're gonna put a hook here, and then he ain't gonna have no choice but to have his verse down right here. He gonna be going over the hook, but that's how it was, man. I mean, Atlanta, the South was already established, but when you're talking about Atlanta, Georgia hadn't been established yet. That glass ceiling hadn't been broken in yet, but people were down here getting their thing on, like, you know, Kilo, the Hard Boys, I mean, Session Effect,
Ghetto Mafia.
Ghetto Mafia,
D-Rock.
man, D-Rock, I mean, come on, man.
JVL and the
Come on,
Straight
man,
Jackets.
JV
Remember the group Jermaine had like TLC,
Yes.
Silk Time Leather?
Silk Time Leather.
Yeah.
And so, man, Atlanta was bubbling, man. It was just, we didn't have that major record label down here yet.
Yeah, we had a
That would
pipeline.
facilitate that. Yeah, we had a plug. We found
How was fast forward to that? How was you guys first meeting with L.A. Reid and Babyface? Let's relive that moment. The introduction of Goodie Mob to LaFace Records. You know, I know KP was involved and Shanti and those guys, but when it got to L.A. and Babyface, what was the vibe?
I think some of our first initial meetings I can remember, because it's a blur. It doesn't. I can't recall us sitting at the table and signing the deal and nothing like that. I remember meeting L.A. the first time at the Outkast picnic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we still got that picture of where we was kneeled in front with the Outkast Gold records. You know what I'm saying? Like, Biggie and Puffy had opened up for Outkast at that time, and then that next and I think in those following 6 months to a year, we was opening up for Biggie at the warehouse. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, they flipped real quick. But I remember that. I remember meeting LA for the first time informally, also in front of Illusions when they were filming Players Ball. I met Puffy and LA that day. Yeah.
Wow. So the introduction goes, we're at LaFace Records. We're in the Organized Noise deal. Give us a little background on the creation of putting together, cooking up soul food.
It was amazing. It was because it was the first time that, you know, Goodie Mob had our own budget. So that was the first time Reek was like, okay, we're not going to record, or we're not even going to stay in the dungeon. We're going to go and we're going to record somewhere else. And that's when we winded up. He said, hey, man, meet us over at the studio over here on Camden Road. And we were kind of like, Camden Road? We're on Camden Road for? And we pulled up to this house, and he said, man, this Curtis Mayfield house. He was like, man, Curtis Mayfield stayed in our hood all the time. We ain't know. He was like, yeah, this is where he used to record it. You know what I mean? So it was like, it was amazing that day. We just walked around the house and were just looking in their closets and everything.
It was still original 2-inch tapes in the studio.
2-inch reels.
Yeah.
I can remember when Rico got the SSL for the dungeon. I remember it was too big to bring it out. They had to take the door down in the basement to get it out.
He couldn't get it out. Had to bring it in sections.
You had to bring it in pieces.
It was like
Like an embroidery machine.
Yeah. It was like it was something else just to watch the growth from. People don't know that at the original dungeon we never could record. So it was mostly about
It was a vibe.
It was just a vibe.
It was a vibe, creating the sound, coming up with ideas.
And coming up with ideas and listening to probably a track for a week and trying to write 5 verses of that track. You know what I mean? So we didn't really start going to the studio to Parental Advisories out. That's when we started going to Doppler a lot with them, and we would be out in the car, and
Shout out KP Mello
and Reese. You know what I mean? They were the first to catch a real deal in the dungeon.
Yeah, they was on MCA.
Right.
Yeah, Savvy
They were
Records,
on
shout out
MCA.
Pebbles.
Yep. But going into the studio and watching Ray Murray take a record that you probably had never heard before, it may not even been a hit song, of him to take a sample out of that record and just create a whole dungeon sound from that record. Like, the first experience watching him do that, like, what did you guys feel? How do you guys feel about that?
I've been watching him do it since I started rapping. He taught me how to rap. So it was like, for me personally, I watched Ray get his first drum machine, which was nothing but a drum machine with 4 pads on it that you played with drumsticks. You know what I mean? And I watched him turn that into what we had today. The SP12, Rube was the first to buy SP12. When Reek got into the new dungeon in Lakewood, Rube brought the new drum machine. So we went into that situation just knowing that we had better equipment, and everybody was watching the success of Dallas and Jermaine at that time. So we was watching how everybody was doing their videos, how they were doing their sound, and we just wanted to stand in our own place, and we wanted our own sound. So we was able to watch what everybody was doing. At the same time, we wanted to carve our own, niche in this music game.
And that's crazy. You say Big Rube bought the first SP12 to the dungeon.
Yeah.
Wow. Now the story about Jermaine and Dallas that you bring up is interesting because I know you and Dallas are all real like brothers. Y'all real tight. But what's really crazy about what you just said was like with Dallas and Jermaine, it was kind of like with the dungeon situation too, because Dallas had the drum machine, but Jermaine had all the records because his daddy was touring with Luther Vandross and all these big artists, and then Jermaine started touring with Houdini. So he was on the road, and his daddy was in the record business. So Jermaine was able to get the records. And the rumor is, or the story is, that he would get with Dallas, and they would sample the records.
Yeah, cause that's when Jermaine had a house off of flat shows. And the first time I went over there, Ian Burke took me over to his house. The first time I met JD. So like, that was right before Criss Cross came out. So just to watch him and watch how he moved, JD was very much he was advanced. He was very much an advanced producer during that time because he was able to go to New York and go to LA and things of that sort. And him being on tour with other acts just gave him a better outlook of what hip hop was and how we could take what they were doing and change it into what Atlanta does.
But you know what Jermaine told me? I actually did a little documentary movie a long time ago called How We Did It. He actually told a story, basically the same story of Rico and Ray and Pat. He said he used to go to the studio on Campbellton Road and try to get the musicians to replay the music. Be like, no, that ain't what I want. I want to sample I want the real sound of the real song.
Yeah. that was a task back then because you got to understand the equipment wasn't as advanced. It was like still like 808. The 808 was really the drum machine that people used. The music didn't really get into a very synthetic or a very thick sound until the SP12 came, because outside of that, it was just the drums of the 808. Most of all the songs back then was just drums. You know what I mean? So,
but that didn't have nothing but 8 seconds of sampling time. 8 seconds of sampling time on it. It didn't have any sampling time. So that's what he was saying. Like new.
You can only do a little loop real quick.
Yeah, that's how you got to get pieces of everything back then. You get a little piece of this, little piece of that, and then they'll put the whole thing together. Like now, man, you can sample a whole song with it.
I remember Low used to have beat tapes. Them beat tapes, I don't know how you used to do it.
Pause button.
Yeah.
Pause button tapes.
That's how you used to make the beats longer.
I was watching this show called Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix, which we have an episode on there too. They was talking about the evolution of hip hop from A to Z, and they was interviewing Q-Tip, and he was talking about the pause button tapes. And silly of me to think I was the only one that was doing it, but yeah. And I mean, what it is like the dual cassettes. You know what I mean? It's typically that floor model stereo system that you got in your house. You know what I mean? And if you notice, one side had play record, and the other one just had play. You know what I mean? So you hit that pause button, hit that, rewind back. You do that 1,000 times, you got yourself a instrument. You got your beat. So I learned that. I mean, little activities like that. Like when it's like tinkering with a new toy and just like this discovery, man. Like it gave me a focus. I got good at it. I got great at it. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like saved my life.
Man, some of the most incredible producers that we look up to in this hip hop game that a lot of people look down on. They learn all these tricks and techniques just from trial and error.
Facts.
Just from trying different things, and some people will record a sound on a microphone and sample it, or just take anything and just sample it. But when the records start to come out, release date of Soul Food. Or let me back up. The first time you guys heard Cell Therapy on the radio, what did you think?
You played it. You played it. It was the greatest feeling of all time.
You're born and raised in Atlanta,
And-
from the SWATs.
Man.
You get signed. You start working with Organized Noise. You do a deal with Organized Noise. You do a deal with LaFace, with the legendary L.A. Antonio Reed,
Yep.
and Mr. Edmonds, Mr. Babyface. You do a deal with these guys. You make an album, and the first time you hear your song on the radio, like what is going through your mind on the radio station that you've been listening to all your life?
Made it, man.
We made it. Like
I teared up. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. It was overwhelming with joy. just to ride down Bankhead and hit everybody. Boom, ba, bing, bing, bing. It was just every car. I
can't remember.
Every car.
I got a better story about hearing
couldn't believe
Outkast for the first time than myself.
Uh-oh. That might be a good one. CeeLo Green, his first time hearing Outkast on the radio. Yeah. What happened? What was your reaction?
Oh, man, shout out to OG King Floaty, man. Me and Floaty was working for a temporary agency called the Talent Tree. If you know what I mean? What this does is, like, you know, if you're logged in and, like, if you're free and available at a moment's notice, man, you might get a call first thing in the morning and say, hey, man, Mr. Calloway or whomever, like, you know, are you available to go here or there? I'm like, of course. So we ended up getting a seasonal job, man, like, you know, working for UPS, man, at the airport, man, me and old Floaty, man. So, you know, we in the lunchroom, and I'm telling you, man, it's a movie moment, man. We sitting there, Players Ball comes on the radio, we look at each other like, we quit. like, we left, we quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Right then and there. Drove out to Northside Drive. You know, it's now known as Stank Only after Outkast. It's like purchased this landmark. But before it was previously owned by Bobby Brown, it was called Bosstown. So we drove out to Bosstown Studios. Ray was in there cooking up the beat for Get Up, Get Out, Get Something. You know, and all it was. I told the story a few times. So I gotta always do the little sound bite for it. It was just like boom. That's all it was. And he was just laying in those, he was still, he's playing with the chords until he settled on. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's a good, that give me that chill, you know what I mean? Because I remember it, man. And my Floaty, man, is an outspoken character, man. You know Flo.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely no big Floaty.
So he says, hey, bruh, when you gonna let Cuz get on something? And he said, man, I'm just trying to find the right place for everybody. Then he started hitting them chords, and it moved me, man. Like, I had this verse, I got right in his ear. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just did it right there in his ear. He was like, boom. That's it. He looked up and Gip, so this was like, because remember, we all worked. This might have been like 1 or 2 in the afternoon because we was at lunch. Yeah. We came straight at that, right? So about 6, 7, everybody started rolling in. Gip comes in. It was about, you know, everybody ready to, you know, gear up and cut the record. I pulled Gip to the side. I said, Gip, man, this me. And he mentioned Tyrus McClure. Me and Tyrus McClure were in a group called Atlantis. So that's the big bro. Shout out to Tyrus. I got to find Tyrus. He had gone away to school. I had this record. You know, I said, Gil, man, this is our record. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't get up like that. He was like, bruh, these are some wise words too. He said, bruh, do your best, man. It ain't gonna be your last verse. I said, okay. You know what I'm saying?
And got rhyme of the month.
Yeah. I went in the booth and I still tried to finesse. KP was like, okay, run it. I did a whole nother verse. He was like, yeah, that was good. But what about the verse from earlier today? I'm like, damn. And what y'all hear, man, like, and this ain't even really for bragging rights, because a lot of stuff, when you record the 2-inch tape, you gotta get it right. So when I say a lot of things of that in that era were recorded one take down, that's because we had to do it. Right. Like KHUJO has an amazing kind of quirk in his arsenal where he would never do the same verse twice. That's why we had to catch him while he was going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, because he could have came back and when the scene unfolds, he would have just chopped it up differently. But anyway, can I say that about you out loud?
Of course, man.
Because it was really amazing, actually. Well, what was my point, though? What I was saying? Damn, I forgot.
How'd you feel the first time you heard that Outkast on the radio?
Oh, it was just crazy.
Left the temp job.
Left the temp job.
We quit. We out of here.
We quit. We did it.
Went to the studio and created the incredible Get Up and Get Out verse.
It came out. We did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just done in one take. Right. That's all it was. Just one take.
And people don't believe that because it'd be like, okay, how long was that verse? You did that in one take. I'd be like, bro, back then.
I think it's longer than 12 bars.
That's 18. That's at least 18.
That song is 7 minutes and 38 seconds long. We was never getting on nobody's radio station with that record.
And then, you know, with me, that it was a big thing because they had to cut my verse off. So when it came on radio, I was kind of like, damn. But I was like, I guess so. I made the video.
They gonna see me on TV.
But L.A. Reid was a diplomat though because they put out a
Two different
Outkast version
versions
and a Goodie Mob
They put two versions out.
It's true. Yeah. So that's honorable because that's their album and they reserve all rights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was honorable for them to acknowledge us in that way.
Now, at one time, me being close to the situation, it was kind of crazy because when everything started really going stupid, Bernard Parks was you guys' manager, and Blue Williams from Flavor Unit, who came out of the Flavor Unit family with Shakim and Queen Latifah, was Outkast manager, and it almost came like I don't think it ever was a competition between Goodie Mob and Outkast, but it was a competition between Bernard and Blue.
I can see that.
Yeah, always was.
How did that affect you guys as far as the groups were concerned? I know it didn't affect you personally, but I mean as far as the careers.
I would say it just with two other men and they thing, it kind of separated us. You know what I mean? Instead of, when Outkast went out on their big tour, instead of getting Outkast and Goodie Mob, you got Outkast and Ludacris, which in turn, that tour took Ludacris platinum. So for us at that time, I went on the tour for Goodie Mob to perform with Outkast. But, I know that if my group had been on that tour, we would have went platinum way faster. But since we had two managers that didn't get along at that time, we were kind of separated. And then also at that time, Alex, AG, he was taken out on that tour where he started his whole party thing and became who he is today. So a lot of things came about from that Outkast tour. A lot of careers were made, a lot of people were made, and I just think the competition between the two people that we were speaking of, it kind of hurt our relationship on going out and always getting money together instead of being separated by, two managers, opinions about where the group is going.
Word. Goodie Mob B.
Believe it.
Black Music Month on the People Station, V-103 with the Odyssey family. KHUJO, Timo, Gip, CeeLo in the studios here on Peachtree, downtown Atlanta, midtown Atlanta, for this legendary moment. Now, CeeLo had a solo project. Gip did some solo projects. And, of course, KHUJO and Timo did some projects also. But CeeLo, at one point, CeeLo was working on two albums at the same time. He was working on a project with Jazzy Faye, and he was working on a project with Danger Mouse.
Yes.
And I can remember, it was some...
And Goodie Mob.
And Goodie Mob. At the same time. And Goodie Mob at the same time. 3 projects at the same time. And the Happy Hour album with Jazzy Faye was going crazy, just the buzz from the industry, from us that was listening to it, the long time coming song. I still been trying to get Noonie to go. I think he let the stores get auctioned off and we can't get the drive no more. But that song was one of the most incredible songs I ever heard in my lifetime. Wow. I wish we could recreate that song. But while they was creating this project and we going to Patchwork every night, listen to the songs, Jazzy gave me a CD of the whole album. But out of left field comes CeeLo and Danger Mouse with this Gnarls Barkley project. I mean, it just came out of left field. People didn't even know that CeeLo was in the group. Right. I can remember people called, a lady called a request line one time. I think I told you this story. A lady called a request line. She was at her job, and she had me on speakerphone. She's like, Greg Street, tell these people at my job that CeeLo from Goodie Mob on that song talking about I'm crazy.
So around that time, and this is a little music education because this is music, month, right? So check this out. Y'all might not be familiar with it, but go check out this artist named Moby. Moby was having a moment, right? What he was doing was doing these
roll Moby?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you could call him rock roll. Little bald head white dude, you know what I'm saying, who ended up was beefing with Eminem real hard. Speaking of Eminem, I just released a song with him yesterday. Did you know that?
Wow.
Okay, so I'll tell you about that. But well, let's say something.
Black Music Month.
Black Music Month.
I'm tripping.
Yeah. That's live. You heard it.
Paul, M, Royce, we found out just a little
M too.
A little
Hey,
but for the culture.
Yeah, I'm on the black hand side of it. Can you dig it?
Okay.
I would check this out, but so they didn't think that a lot of people didn't realize that there was an actual vocalist. They thought it was a sample because if you know, like he was having, I think he had three. It's this what's the name of that album? It's called Play. Moby Play. It was a big, huge album for that year.
Yeah.
And it's that, ooh, Lord, the troubles on. So they thought that it was some old soul sample that Danger Mouse wouldn't got. A lot of people didn't know it was an actual me, at the time. And they just thought it was because Danger Mouse had just had some success with this mixtape that he had done called The Gray Album, which was a mashup of Jay-Z's Black Album and the Beatles' White Album. You know what I'm saying? So he had done that just before we popped off. But it's a long story, but it was dope. People they were just discovering Danger Mouse, and I had discovered him too. A lot of people don't realize that he's from
Right
Decatur,
from Atlanta. From the east side. Went to Redan High School.
That's right.
We
But I met him at UGA when we was doing a Dungeon Family show at UGA. All of us was there. Goodie, Outkast, everybody was there.
That was that Coca-Cola.
I don't know. It wasn't.
Right
It wasn't.
before
You
that.
don't know. You don't go. It might have been. I don't know.
Right before, yeah.
But I remember it was storming, raining, and they had to cancel the show. And the dude walked up on me and gave me a CD. He had on one of them ponchos, like the one Bruce Willis be wearing in the Unbreakables. It was just like that because it was raining. It just looked like a ghost right here. You know what I'm saying? So he was a virtual unknown at the time. Didn't know who he was. A partner of mine named Trey, hooked us back up. He said that we met, man. I met you in the rain, man, a year or so ago. I'm like, damn, that was you. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, he wanted me to do a verse on a remix for another record he was doing. Ended that session by, let me tell you the business behind the Jazzy Faye thing. That's a great album. Atlanta, y'all need to know. Jazzy, I'm
Happy
calling
hour.
out to you. Yo, we should probably still release it. I think we could do it now legitimately. Let's figure it out, okay? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what happened was, Jazzy Faye was doing a project with Capitol Records, and it was going to be called Jazzy and Friends, like a compilation album. I'm just going to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, me and Jazzy had a great I fell in love with Jazzy when we was doing Join the Wind in Miami. So that record became a hit, as you know, with Trick Daddy. Shouts out to Trick. We go to Miami to shoot the video. This is my first time getting a chance to...
I recorded that song, actually.
Yep.
That Stank on you.
Yep.
Put CeeLo and Big Boy on it.
That's a fact.
Wow.
For free.
I did not know this.
For free.
That's a fact.
Did not know this.
Ted sent it to me. Hey, man, I need to get... He actually just wanted CeeLo on it. I was like, man, we going to put Big Boy on it, too.
That's just
Wow.
it's our bubbling. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Jazzy said something real funny to me. I want to repeat it, but maybe I can't repeat it though. It was so funny, man. I'm gonna say it ain't that bad. I said, man, that's a nice Cartier watch you got on, player. Oh yeah, man, so and so, blah 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 blah. He said, man, it was burgundy. He said, man, I wore this a few days ago, and I had the burgundy shirt on to go with the burgundy ill band on it. He said, man, I was looking so fly. He said, oh, and they were so in agreement.
Finzel. Jazzy Finzel. Phelan Alexander.
I fell out in the floor laughing at that fool, man. We've been friends ever since that. I said, okay, this is my kind of guy. So that story gonna really shed light on why the Happy Hour album was so good. Because we was such good friends. We had so much in common, just personality. Why he's such a funny dude. So anyway, that's how that happened, man. But he called me. Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to, I'm sorry. He called me, and he said, Zach called me and said, bro, we going to Miami to record some songs, man. You should come down. I said, I'm in Miami. He was like, damn, we coming down there Friday. I said, I leave Friday. And I'm like, damn. He said, well, think about it. Long story short, we finna get on the plane. They getting off the plane. We bump into each other. Like, oh no, this too special. They mean, you gotta stay. So we stayed, did a couple of records. He went back over to Capitol Records and said, like, yo, I'm gonna change the concept of the album to not Jazzy and Friends, but Jazzy and CeeLo, and how we gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. They was like, why? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it was just a dope ass project. But what happened was, we end up shooting a video, doing a promotional tour, and all of that, recording a whole album, but with no deal. We never signed the Capitol Records. They never signed it. So by the time I'm leaving there, I didn't think it was really nothing to mention Danger Mouse, because Danger Mouse wasn't nothing to mention at the time. We was just doing it on us. I mean, I like what he did, but I didn't know it was gonna pop off and be nothing. So, with that, so when Crazy ends up leaking and it becomes what it is, I had to write. Then I end up signing a deal. You know what I mean? So it's like it just defaulted Happy Hour. I couldn't do it because I signed an inclusive deal.
And we had recorded 3 new songs for Goodie Mob also.
Yep.
Wow.
One of them had made the ATL soundtrack. It's called "Is That You God." I looked at that movie the other day, man. So we got a bunch of records on there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We sitting down with the Goodie Mob, man. It's Black Music Month, as you can tell. Like I told you, he's my brother, so we can sit and do this all day. We on the set, man. Black Music Month with the Goodie Mob.
Yeah.
Now, it is 2022.
Facts.
We talking about some amazing stories, but it is 2022, and we still standing.
Believe it.
Still going crazy.
Believe it.
CeeLo still making music. Goodie Mob still making music. These guys do some of the biggest festivals in the country and international in the world of KHUJO Goodie.
Yeah. What's happening, man?
I know you got the clothing line going crazy.
Well, I'm still, the music is still in me. You feel what I'm saying?
Of course.
I still think it's something that I still need to accomplish. So I just recently dropped a new single called Bills. You know what I'm saying? It's about rich and poor, man. I don't care what your status is. You still got to go holler at Bill. You feel what I'm saying? You might not like to see him every now and then,
But you got to see him.
You got to see him. He'll end up being your friend. You know what I'm saying? But then through the pandemic, man, I had some time to sit and get up some ideas about a clothing line, man. So me and my fam, my boys at the house, and my wife, we put something together called 5 Delish merch, FFD merch. I'm wearing one of the shirts right now, man. So we just had time to think and put some ideas together, man.
CeeLo Green,
Yep.
know what you doing.
Big.
Yeah, man. Well, I just got to doing something really exciting, man, for the second time, man. I raced cross country with one of our own, man, Sir Dallas Austin. We participated in something called the Gumball 300. Gumball 3000. And yeah, you know what I mean. So that's 3,000 miles. I mean, to be specific. And I had another show to do, so this time I caught up with them in Indianapolis, and we drove down from Indianapolis to Nashville to Kentucky, to Atlanta, then on down to Miami. So that was exciting. So that's big, man. That's like if y'all into car coaching, things of that nature, we could relate on that. And, that was dope. Also, a couple of different projects, man. We're just dealing with free agency and independence, man. Got the flexibility to do what I call Wu-Tang deals, man. Like multiple deals at once. I'm saying one parlaying into the next, not binding from the next. You know what I mean? So, I love what the big bro is doing. I love to see my bro, you know what I'm saying, going hard with his music. You know what I mean? This your 3rd, 4th independent single. You know what I mean? And the merch hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should check that out.
Appreciate that, bro.
Have you
Timo Woods over here.
Are you shooting a video to the Eminem?
Oh, I was gonna say that, yeah. And just so y'all know, man, not only do we do black music, man, we do big music, man.
Big.
Man, you can't be big inside the box. Can you dig it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna do an honorable mention, man. Like I'm saying, I had a record come out yesterday, man, Eminem called The King and I, man. Represent the Elvis soundtrack, man. So y'all check that out.
Timo to the fullest, aka Timo Woods on the golf course.
Yeah.
Timo Good got a couple of things he's working on right now too, man. Timo Good is also gonna be aka Mr. Red Fox. I'm working with some people right now. They want me to play Red Fox on this stage play type thing. We've been working on it about 2 years. The pandemic shut me down, so now we're putting it all back together again. So be on the lookout. Red Fox over here. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm coming. Not only that, man. You know what I'm saying? I was inspired by my homeboy Gip. We got the song coming out. We're shooting the video this week. We got Top of the AA. Got the video we're shooting next week. It's going all the way digital, baby.
Okay.
On V-103. Holla at me, Greg.
Mob ties.
Yeah.
Black Music Month 2022 from the People Station, V-103, Odyssey, Midtown, ATL. This is all brought to you by our family at Peach State Health Plan. When you're thinking about your health care, don't forget, choose Peach State. Now, of course, they always put an extra effort into making sure they're in tune with your needs for your family. I'm Greg Street from V-103, 6 o'clock. It's time for Street to Rock. And we got a special outro song. We're going to take it all the way back to Soul Food. CeeLo Green.
Come on, man. We'll take y'all back to early 1995. Something like this.
Need some help or you good?
Come on, we do it. Lord is so hard. Y'all can do it.
Living his life
a constant struggle each and every day. Some wonder why I'd rather die than to continue living this way. Many are blind and cannot find the truth, 'cause no one seems to really know. But I won't accept that this is how it's gonna be. Therefore, you got to let me and my people go. Black Music Month from the People Station, V-103. Y'all give it up for Goodie Mob.
Yes, sir.
Goodie Mob. SWATs.